Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make a vanilla sheet cake and this is what it looks like. This is a moist vanilla flavored butter cake that we are going to cover with white chocolate ganache frosting. And if you want to bake a birthday cake for anyone in the family, this cake is the right one. Now this cake is so easy to make, anyone and everyone can bake this. So let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is to preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius. So to start with our batter, you can use your hand mixer or your stand mixer. The first thing you would need is half cup of butter. Have your butter at room temperature. Now I like to use unsalted butter. Just beat the butter on low to medium speed until it is light and creamy. So whenever you are making a batter, do stop in between and scrape the sides and the bottom of your mixing bowl. We want to make sure everything is mixed together. So now I'm going to add into this 3/4 cup of granulated sugar along with 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And so now I'm going to beat this on medium-high speed. We want to get everything mixed together. And we also want to get some air into the batter. So the batter is now light and fluffy. So this is after about 3 to 5 minutes of beating on medium speed. Okay, so we are done. You can see it's lightened in color, nice, light and fluffy. So that's what you're looking for. So now what we are going to do is add 3 eggs into this, which are at room temperature, and I'm going to add 1 egg at a time. Beat that in on medium speed and then add the next one and then the next one. So this is my last one to go into the batter. Okay, and just scrape the sides again. So now we'll prepare our dry ingredients. In a large bowl, I've taken 1 cup and 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, which is approximately 175 grams. To that I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then we will be sifting that together. Now sifting not only mixes the baking powder and salt into the flour, but it also aerates the flour, which helps to get a nice light cake. So there we go. So I'm just going to mix everything together with a wire whisk. Now this is optional. You can skip this step also. So now is the time to mix both our dry and wet ingredients together. So now we also need half a cup of milk, which is kept at room temperature. So now what we are going to do is we are going to alternate between the flour and the milk. So I'm going to add the flour in 3 additions and alternate that with the milk in 2 additions. So take about a third of your flour first and then have your mixer on low speed. Just mix it. Now we add this alternatively, because if you add all of these together at once, we would be mixing for a longer time, which we don't want to do. We only want to mix everything together. So now I'm going to add half of the milk into this. Mix it again. Little more of the flour, like half of what is remaining. mix this again. So just going to give this a quick scrape. Now rest of the milk and mix this again. And now the final bit of the flour. So mix this again. So just for reference, this is what you would call a vanilla flavored butter cake, and the way we mix this, this is called the creaming method. Okay, so now it looks good, and now I do have a little bit of flour on the sides, so I'm just going to mix that using my spatula. And so we are done. So I'll just pour it in my baking pan. I'm making a small cake, so I'm using a 6x6 square pan. You can double the ingredients and you can use 9x13 pan for a birthday cake if you are baking for a bigger party. So spread it out as evenly as possible. So pretty good now. Now bake this about 30 to 35 minutes or until it's light golden brown in color. So our vanilla sheet cake is done. See, it has a beautiful golden brown color, and see, the cake has starting to pull away from the sides of the pan. So now after keeping it for 10 to 15 minutes for cooling, I'm going to take this out. So now to take our cake out of the pan, first we have to take a knife or offset spatula. Just be sure it's not sticking to the sides, and then take your wire rack upside down, and there we go. Hopefully it will come off. Yes. Now just peel the butter paper. So now I have reflipped it over so that the top is facing up. Now let this cool completely, and then we'll be preparing the frosting. So I'm baking this cake at the last moment for a birthday in the family, but if you want to bake this, I will suggest you to bake it the day before and then frost the cake the next day. So for the frosting, we just need 2 ingredients. It's white chocolate and cream. It's 3:1 ratio. I have 150 grams of white chocolate, and into this I'm going to add 50 ml of cream. I'm using Amul cream here. You can use some heavy whipping cream also. So I'm using very easily available ingredients. So you can get white chocolate chips from anywhere, any confectionery or store or something, and Amul cream is available everywhere. So now we are going to do this gently and in stages. So first stage is we are going to put this in microwave for 30 seconds. So this is after 30 seconds. I'm just going to give it a good stir. If you have some white chocolate which is still not melted, so just pop it back in the microwave for another 30 seconds. So now after 30 seconds more, I'm going to stir this really good so that it's combined, the cream and the white chocolate. It's almost done, but it doesn't look like a nice frosting. It's having this yellow color and it's looking some kind of sticky thing. You can use it at this point, but I would suggest you to keep this in fridge for 20 minutes and then we'll come back. So this is the ganache has been in fridge for 20 minutes now, and it's like spreadable consistency now, but it's still not ready for our cake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip up using a hand mixer, and you'll see that it's going to be really white and fluffy. See, so that is it, how easy it was. Now you can see it, it's lovely and whipping consistency. Now we are ready to frost the cake. It will just spread it off. See, nothing fancy here, just spread the frosting on the top of the cake. You can use your spoon, like the back of your spoon, some spatula or a palette knife to spread it. Anything, whatever is there at home with you. Looks good. You can do the smooth, like you can make some designs, or you can just do so whatever pattern you like. So now you can put fresh fruits over it, berries, some kind of chocolate flakes or coconut flakes, but I'm going to use some sprinkles here. Who doesn't like sprinkles? Now just depending upon the occasion, you can decorate the cake. Oh, the cake is done now. Now if you want to keep this cake for long, refrigerate it. It can stay in fridge up to 5 to 6 days. Just bring it to room temperature before serving it, because it's a butter cake and it tends to harden in the fridge. So it's very nice butter cake with chocolate ganache frosting. If you have a birthday in the family, just you want to bake for someone you are close to but afraid of baking, so this cake is for you. Easy peasy vanilla butter cake with easy frosting and sprinkles above. Everyone and anyone can bake this. So I hope you like this recipe, and if you try this, do not hesitate to share the pictures with me on my Instagram. So until next time, this is Dipali from dipaliori.com. Happy baking!